Good morning. This is Good Morning with Michael. This is our business focus. And this week we have JJ Osterman from Human Interests on the show. Um, JJ, he went over to China for a few years. He was a primary school teacher there, and then he was a policy consultant with GM,
Right.
and then he moved on to ADP as an associate and a centric manager. And right now he's at Human Interests. And welcome aboard, JJ. It's great to have you on Mornings with Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Glad to be here. I know it's not morning now, but I'm looking forward to watching it on your channel when you post it. So thanks for having me.
So, what can you tell us about your education and what kind of led you to move over to China?
Okay, wow. Going all the way back, education, political science major at UCLA, did very well there. Very passionate about that, and always studied China there. Definitely a reason to take me all the way east. And my grandmother was from Shanghai. Never really got to meet her and hear about China, so I wanted to go see for myself.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, man, it was 4 years almost, so it's quite a ride, but experienced a lot there. Got a great perspective of a very important country in this day and age. But glad to be home in America. Probably go back to China in the distant future, but I'm here in California to stay.
That's awesome. Well, what did you do at GM?
GM, we would work with mostly American and European companies that had operations in China, and they want to know what's going on with the Chinese government policy and their foreign relations with America, with the EU, with Australia, Southeast Asia, India. They wanted to kind of know what policy externalities could happen because of those relationships and how those policy changes could affect their business operations in China. So it was work there when COVID started, so it was a very precarious time for business leaders from the West, but operating in China. So they wanted to kind of get a lot of information about what was going on.
That's awesome. And then you came back to the States and then you came on with ADP. Can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about that experience?
of course. Always wanted to dip my toe into sales. ADP's been a very famous start for many salespeople. Great training, great company, taught you a lot. Met a lot of very fantastic people there in the East Bay in California. Look back on my time there fondly. But I did want to try something else, and Human Interest reached out. And when they told me, what I'd be doing, who I'd be working with, how I'd be working, and what I'd be compensated with, I couldn't say no.
That's awesome. Can you give a little background, Human Interest, how they got started and what their focus is?
Yeah, so Human Interest is founded here in the Bay Area, San Francisco, 2015. Our two founders had their own small business and marketing company, and they were looking to set up a 401k, and they ran into a lot of fees that really hampered them from setting it up, and it was extremely complicated, time consuming, and just cumbersome to their roles as business owners. So they set out to make a 401k that was, one, affordable. Everyone looks at the price, that's the most important part. But two, really ease of use in setting it up and having regular employees understand it and how to use it and how to save for retirement, because retirement in America is a very serious issue right now. Not a lot of people are saving, definitely not saving enough if they are. So there's a lot of state and federal legislation pushing people to set things up and start saving for the long-term health of the economy. And Human Interest has tried to come in and fill that void and offer something that's affordable, easy to use, and really makes a lot of sense for a business owner that's obviously, since COVID, doesn't have mountains of cash to set up plans with, and definitely doesn't have a lot of time.
So what are they focused on? Is this like small business, bigger business?
So we do go from one employee up to thousands and thousands. We have some very large clients, but I'd say the sweet spot is 1 to 500 employees. Looking to do about 1 in 5 startups in America this year. So we're very active in the small business startup space, but we do help people benchmark their current plans and often find that our zero transaction fees are very attractive to them compared to their plans that are more or less riddled with them. And there's even some hidden fees that aren't transparent. So that's one way we really try to stand out and be attractive to business owners.
That's awesome. So, just taking a pause from your career, what are some of your hobbies?
Oh, me, I love meeting a lot of new people. Came back from China and didn't really have a lot of network built out since I spent so much time over there. So really just trying to meet new people, see what they do, how I can learn from them, where people in my age are going in their lives. And I've been meeting a lot of great people in the Bay Area. Definitely have my old contacts here. So a lot of time with friends. Definitely some sports. Love basketball. Warriors fan since '99. Going to be going pretty crazy in the playoffs here, making sure we can get back to that NBA Finals. So sports, friends, love reading, and really trying to write more. So I'd say those are kind of the core interests as of now.
What kind of books do you like to read?
Oh, I like to read all the old philosophy, Eastern, Western. The Romans, the Chinese, the Greeks, and all the modern philosophers. I love them. Love like the top literature in the world. I love the Russian literature. That's probably my favorite. A lot of self-help stuff. A lot of my people my age, they're finding a lot of use in a lot of the self-help books out there that are helping people, take command of their lives, take responsibility, and really try and make it, on their own.
Well, that's great. So, what's your position with the human interest? What's your kind of focus?
Human interest, my title is partner account manager. So sometimes people get it confused that I'm talking with the business owners directly or I'm door knocking to all the mom and pop shops, which isn't the case. I'm happy to talk to any business owner that happens to meet me at maybe a networking event. Happy to connect them with my team, but I work with payroll providers. I work with insurance brokers on the property and casualty and health and life side. I work with financial advisors, financial planners, and a lot of other niche businesses where they have business clients who trust them and sometimes ask them for consulting or advice. And these partners, these groups of business individuals in the community, they can really meet with me and my team and just take a casual look at human interest. Say, okay, what are you guys all about? How does this work? And if it makes sense for them, then they can consider referring their clients to us. But that's what I try to do is introduce human interest to the community and see if we can have business individuals leading the business community refer their business clients to us. No big deal. They don't sign up, but we love to have about a 15-minute conversation. That's my ultimate goal.
Say, before get too far along here, I just want to give you an opportunity to find your number to be contacted or your email and the best way to get in touch with you.
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. So it'd be JJ Osterman, Osterman. You'll see me, you'll see this face right there, same haircut. You can reach me on there. If you want to call me directly, I got my cell phone, 925. Apologies, it's a little loud. Second.
So I'll put you back.
Got it. And we're back. Cell phone, 925-257-3957. So born and raised in the East Bay area with that 925 area code. And my email will actually be my real name, Joseph. So JOSEPH.Osterman, OSTERMAN @humaninterest.com. Feel free to reach out anytime. And just know, just looking for a casual conversation, no pressure. And I'd love to introduce you to human interest and what we're all about.
And I think you said that human interest may be looking to do an IPO in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think we're hoping to. Definitely, it's been slow to happen, but it's definitely coming. We're definitely growing very, very fast. We had a very big year for us last year, and we're growing quick, learning a lot, and very excited to go public in the near future.
So what is the area that you've been focusing on? Are you in the East Bay area
Yeah, so
of San Francisco?
yeah, so for anyone listening in, When it comes to businesses, I can work with any business in the United States, doesn't matter. But when I look for the partners that I listed out, those partners I meet with in the Alameda and Contra Costa County, more or less. So from Union City down south, all the way up to Richmond, Martinez in the north, and everything in between. Walnut Creek, Oakland, Berkeley, Pleasanton, Livermore, Brentwood, Concord. Those are all part of my territory, and I work with all the partners in that area. Oftentimes I find partners can also be introduced to one another. So I'm also a networking resource for people. That's kind of a perk of my role, but happy to introduce some partners to others. Oftentimes the CPA needs a broker and vice versa. So do have a very large network in the area.
Awesome. If there's anything that we didn't discuss about human interest, this is your time to just add that. Please go ahead.
I would like to say one thing. So, as I said, in America as a whole, we're not really saving a lot, and the federal government's deemed it very important that we do, as well as the states. So, on the state side, many business owners in California may have heard or have taken action to fulfill the state mandate called Cal Savers, saying if you have 5 W-2 full-time or part-time employees, you must set up a retirement plan that came into effect last June of 2022. So the fines are starting to be sent out. They will be very, very, very active in the next few years. So it's very important that businesses start looking at plans, seeing what fits best for them. The state plan has not worked out very well for many, so it's a good time to look at providers such as Human Interest, just to get a good little look at it. And that's on the state side. On the federal side, very happy to hear for business owners' ears is that the federal government, December 29th, 2022, passed the Secure Act 2.0, where they're giving a lot of money back to business owners. So sometimes it can be up to 100% of the plan. So whatever you would pay for our plan, the federal government will give you that back for 3 years in a tax credit at the end of the year, as long as you file with your CPA. So for the small businesses setting up plans, it's more or less going to be free for you for the first 3 years to help you get it up and running. We know your cash flow needs to be, keeping it going. So the federal government's helping you out. Knowing it's a time where states are requiring it, but the federal government's giving you a little bit of financial help on the side.
Awesome. Well, JJ or Joseph, thank you for joining us, and really appreciate sharing about your time in China. It's something I didn't know, and it's very, very interesting to learn.
Thank you, Michael. It was a great podcast. Thanks for having me on.
Well, this has been Mornings with Michael, our business focus, and please check out Human Interest and Joseph. I met Joseph for coffee at Pete's Coffee here in Alameda, and he's a great guy to know, very helpful. So we look forward to having more guests like Joseph on the air. And once again, this is for informational, educational purposes, and we'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Michael.